Do you guys remember when Trump decided that he was going to suspend immigration to the United States via Twitter at 10 o'clock at night, and everyone lost their mind? My name is Nala Kamaluddin, and today I'm going to try to clear out all of the confusion surrounding the new order suspending certain types of immigrants to the United States for 60 days. We are going to be talking about exactly who is going to be impacted by this new executive order and also who's not going to be impacted by it. This executive order, which was signed on April 22nd, is suspending certain types of immigrants, so those who are applying for a green card or an immigrant visa from overseas, from coming to the United States for a period of 60 days. So before we talk about who is impacted, I want to mention that this order only applies to people who are applying for immigrant visas from overseas. So these are visas that result in a person immigrating to the United States and getting a green card. People who are applying for a non-immigrant visa, so people who are coming here on a temporary basis, are not affected by this order. Examples of non-immigrant visas are visitor visas, student visas, H-1B visas. There are obviously other types of non-immigrant visas, but pretty much anyone who is applying for a non-immigrant visa to come here temporarily is not affected by this order. So first, let's talk about the categories of immigrants who are not affected by this order. The first category is green card holders. If you already have a green card, you're not going to be affected by this order in any way. The second category is spouses of U.S. citizens and also children who are under 21 of U.S. citizens. Also not affected are prospective adoptees. So these are children who are adopted from other countries who want to enter the United States on an IH-4 or an IR-4 visa. People immigrating under the EB-5 category are also not affected. These are green cards that are given to individuals who invest more than $900,000 into the United States. Also, people immigrating as medical professionals, so this includes doctors, nurses, medical researchers who are going to be performing essential services in combating COVID-19. Members of the armed forces and their spouses and children under 21 are also not affected. And lastly, and this is a broad discretionary category, any individual whose entry would be in the national interest as determined by the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security or Secretary of the State. Alright, so anybody who is seeking an immigrant visa who's not within any of the categories that I just mentioned is going to be impacted by the new order. This unfortunately includes parents of U.S. citizens. So if you are a U.S. citizen and you're trying to bring your parent into the United States, you're not going to be able to do that for at least the next 60 days. Also affected are brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens and also sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. So those are, the children who are over 21 years old. One thing I want to mention about, sons and daughters and brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens is that those categories typically have to wait many, many years in order to be able to immigrate to the United States. And unfortunately, because of this new order, they're not going to be able to do that. While spouses and children of U.S. citizens, as I mentioned before, are not going to be affected, spouses and children of green card holders are going to be affected. So if you are the spouse of or a child of a green card holder and you want to immigrate from overseas to the United States, you're not going to be able to do that for at least the next 60 days. Also affected by this order are the EB-1 category for green cards, the EB-2 employer-sponsored category, EB-4, which is for religious type green cards, and also people who have won the diversity lottery and want to come into the United States. They're not going to be able to get a visa for at least the next 60 days. The last thing I want to mention is that if you are already here in the United States, you're not going to be affected in any way. So if you're already here and you marry a U.S. citizen, or if you're already here and you have a I-140 approval and you want to apply for a green card, which is what we call an adjustment of status, then you're also not going to be affected. You're one of the lucky ones. As long as you're here, then you should be okay. As I said before, this is only affecting specific types of immigrants who are applying for an immigrant visa overseas and are wanting to come to the United States. So this is the order as it stands now. If there are any changes or any updates in the future, I will make sure to let you guys know. I hope this helped clear up some of the confusion surrounding this order. If you would like me to do more videos like this, please comment below. And as always, stay safe.